When you first start as an actor or a filmmaker, whether you come at it early in life or later in life like me, it's very difficult not to initially have that idea of fame. However, you pretty quickly realize that just getting regular work is a major win. And that doesn't mean you don't want to work on big, exciting projects or have significant roles and, work with great people and all those things. Of course, you'll always want that, whether as an actor or a filmmaker, and you strive for that. But the first level of that, I think, is trying to get regular work. And that happens to so few people in this industry that you've got to get realistic about it as soon as you possibly can. And even though I joke and tease with my family and friends about, being famous and all the rest, the reality is that that is so far away from who I want to be. As I've mentioned previously, I'm an introvert, so all of that attention is not very appealing. I suppose a little bit of recognition when you do some good work, that's nice, but I don't want to have to spend my life doing endless interviews and endless promoting things, even though I know it's part of it. That has zero appeal to me. What appeals to me is just, doing the work, like doing my job. That's the appealing part. So that's probably a bit, I don't know, counterintuitive for fame, I suppose. So it's just an idea which, I don't know. It's a long way away from where I am at the moment in my life. I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I wish fame and fortune on all my friends and loved ones, but all I ever want is enough to keep going, to do the next thing as a filmmaker, or to keep ticking over as an actor. And I don't need a million people or millions of people to know my name. I just need enough recognition, as I just mentioned, to be able to keep doing what I want to do. And being able to do what you want to do is a huge thing in life. So that in itself is a big aspiration to have. And in a lot of ways, I'm a simple man and I want a simple life. So, I want to be able to walk down the street and just have a coffee with a friend in private and all of that. So, yeah, all the elements of getting significant fame are all things that I find highly unappealing. Maybe I'm in the wrong business, I don't know. It's much, what I find appealing is the camaraderie of being on a film set and, just going for a walk and doing simple things in peace. And one of the benefits, I guess side effects, I suppose you'd say, is that you are free to take risks. I mean, you should always be free to take risks, whether as an actor or a filmmaker, but when you achieve a certain level, you've got a reputation to maintain, and if you're working with the big studios and things, you You need to be able to keep things safe enough for them to invest in you. So you have to walk a pretty tight line. But as an indie filmmaker and an indie actor, really, you can take risks. You can try crazy stuff, and you can fail and fail and fail, and that's okay. That's part of trying things. So I think that's a benefit. I don't know if that's the right way to say. A benefit of being less successful is that you can try all these things. You can take big risks and have big falls, and that's okay. So what is success for me? Success is things like getting a script to a point where I think it's ready. Well, the truth of that is, I'm not sure a script is ever, 100% right or 100% ready, because what I've discovered is, over the years, is that when you read a script and you put it aside for 6 months even, but if you put it aside for a few years and look at it again, you almost want to rewrite the whole thing, or you want to get in contact with the writer and say, I think we need to look at this whole thing again. And that's good. But of course, at some point you have to draw the line and just go for it. What else? Feeling like you've done a good job as a director in leading the team to produce a good film. That's success. And you always want your film to be successful, but if you've done that first part, you've already achieved a certain level of success by getting a team working together to produce a film. Whether people like the film or not is largely out of your hands. Well, that's what I believe anyway. I suppose if you had an unlimited budget for marketing and PR and things, then maybe you could make a certain level of success no matter what. Got my trusty notes. And yeah, like I said before, success for me is a quiet, simple life, and enough money in the bank to keep ticking over. And of course, not just with films, I want to work on, and I have been lucky enough to work on some great indie projects as an actor, and I want to, and I've got some hopefully lined up for later this year, which are meaty work that I can get my teeth into, and that is success. I guess what I'm saying is I don't put all of my definition of success isn't reliant on the end product, or not totally. It is, doing a good job as an actor and feeling that I've discovered something about the character, or played it to the best of my ability and worked well with my fellow actors and director. And as a filmmaker, that, as I said before, that I've got the team together and we've worked against all odds to create an end product. And of course, you always want the film to be good. But you should never dismiss that you've achieved a lot of success just by getting to that point, whether you're an actor or a filmmaker. Just having an end product is a monumental achievement in itself. And yeah, I mean, the big thing is being artistically free for me. And, I've had it's one of my scripts, and I had some feedback recently saying, why don't you cut this bit out? Or they didn't feel comfortable with this bit, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. And I had an opportunity years ago that someone was interested, same script, same bit they wanted to cut out. So, and I was thinking about it over the last few days that maybe I should, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot, but you've only got one life. And even if I certainly hope I get to make this film soon. Even if I make it and I leave that bit in and everybody in the world says that was a mistake, I want to do it that way. And, I think you've only got one life. And even if having done it, in a couple of years' time, I look back and think, oh boy, what did I do there? I mean, I don't know. I think it's still worth the risk. And we've got to take chances. Everything in the film business is so safe these days. I just watched all the Super Bowl halftime trailers, and I tried to watch some trailers for some upcoming big films, but man, I couldn't even get through it. Couldn't get through a trailer. So it just inspires me more to take more risks, and if it's a crazy thing, why not give crazy a shot, I don't think playing safe's the option. And you all may think I'm naive about all these things I'm talking about, and that may be so. But at the end of the day, you have to do what's right for you, and it's only by doing these things which you learn more and more about yourself anyway. And isn't that kind of our goal in life, to understand more and more about ourselves as we go along? I think so. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one, and there'll be a link to Kin Spirits below.